the Dalton Highway. 400 miles of raw, remote terrain stretching deep into the Alaskan Arctic Circle. One of the toughest and most dangerous roads in the entire United States, built for specialized semis and ice road trucks, not a low-slung, mid-engine sports car. But today, we're throwing logic out the window. We've come 4,500 miles to this point, and from here forward there is no support, no backup or safety net, just me, the car, and a very stupid idea. Alright, today's the big day. We're going to be driving the Dalton in my Audi R8. So there is a winter storm warning up there right now, so I'm not sure how far I'm going to be able to get, but the goal is to get to the Arctic Circle. We are having a couple little issues with the car, so I'm going to get some gas. We're going to pull out my laptop and just make sure everything, well, it starts all right, is good to go for that section of the journey, and then we're just going to set off.
Damn, that's a nice ride.
Thank you.
Did you just drive that over the Alcan?
I drove it all the way from Ohio.
You are insane.
I know, right?
It's so nice.
Yeah.
Word. Good on you, buddy.
Thank you.
I'll be right back. I gotta talk to these people.
So we're just a handful of miles north of Fairbanks right now, and we are on what is called the Elliott Highway, and that comes into a town called Living Good, I believe is what it's called, and then the Elliott Highway branches left and the Dalton Highway begins, which is what goes up to Dead Horse, which is basically just an oil field, and the only thing that the Dalton Highway is there for is to get back and forth to that. That's also where the Alaskan pipeline comes down. So you get a couple tourists like me, and then mostly it's just truckers doing the important stuff, I guess. So I gotta give them the benefit of the doubt and give them all of the road that they need. I'm probably gonna get a cracked windshield, but that's all right because it's already cracked. And our goal is to get up across the Yukon River. That's the only gas stop up until you get to Coldfoot, which is on the mountain range. And I'm probably going to stop there and then head up north up to the Arctic Circle. And there's like a little welcoming area where you get a picture with the sign and everything like that. And of course, I want to get this car in front of that sign. It'll probably be the dumbest car that's ever been on that road. I'm sure it's going to be a sight to see up there. But that's the beauty of this car. It can kind of do everything. It's got all-wheel drive, so I'm not really concerned about any of that kind of stuff. The only thing that could be an issue is the low-profile tires and just having 5 inches of ground clearance. Got our first breakdown on the road up here in front of us, so hopefully everything's all right. Don't want to be in this guy's shoes later on. Yikes. Oh my god. I hope they are okay. That looks really bad. Okay. Good news, the cab looked pretty intact, so I'm sure they walked out fine, but that is an expensive mistake. The maps called this a 5-hour journey, so 10 hours round trip to get up to where I want to go to. But that's given that we're driving at 50 miles an hour and the road is in pretty poor condition. There's trucks flipped over everywhere, and going uphill, any truck I get stuck behind is doing 15. So this might be like a 12, 14 hour day. I kind of expected that though. I didn't really go into this thinking it was going to take that much time. Plus we're going to stop along the way, so we're in no hurry, especially because the sun doesn't go down till well past midnight. Oof. Oh, that guardrail is destroyed. Somebody definitely died there. That sucks. Alright, we've hit the beginning of the dirt/mud roads. Let's pray for the best. The car seems to not be wobbling all over the place. Traction control system in this car is actually pretty decent. So let's hope that all-wheel drive can get me out of this. Okay, not gonna lie, this is super sketchy. And no guardrails anywhere either. Sliding all over the place. Hopefully I didn't bite off more than I can chew. I'm doing a lot of engine braking so I don't have to actually hit the brakes and slide, which seems to be helping a lot. And we are officially on the Dalton Highway. I can't believe it. We started in Ohio 5 days ago, and we're almost to the Arctic Circle right now. I can't believe I actually made it to the Dalton. Absolutely insane. And this thing did so well too. I mean, it doesn't look like it, but it's doing all right. The tires have kind of cleared up, threw all the mud off of it. The car is an absolute mess. I'm gonna have to take like these panels off and get really deep down in there, throw it on the lift and clean it out. Let's see how the back underside looks. Oh wow, it's actually a lot cleaner under there than I thought. Shouldn't be too hard to clean. You can barely even see the LEDs inside the headlights right now. Wow, I feel really bad for this car, but it is going to get the best treatment of its life when we get back home.
There's a light in each new day. If the moon gives up rising, the sun stops it shining, you know you'll have a hand to hold. As we wait on the timing, together we find it. There's more than one way to go home.
Yeah, this pavement is not amazing. Look at that. Yikes. There is zero traction to be had on this stuff. Yeah, this is like glue. Ugh, that's nasty. I was honestly expecting people to be a little, like, unhappy about me being up here because they're just up here trying to work and make a wage, and then I'm just doing stupid shit and swerving all over the place. But everybody's been super cool, and they just laughing and taking pictures of the car and stuff, so that's at least fun, right? Man, I knew this road was treacherous and deadly, but I did not expect this. This is terrible. Oh my god. This is the only time I've ever like been scared while driving. Sliding, we're slipping. There we go, traction control, do your thing. We're hitting straight up mud. I really thought this would be chipped or graveled, a little bit heavier, but no, it's just packed dirt. Look at the amount of mud this thing is picking up. There's like a spray coming off of it. I'm gonna run out of windshield wiper fluid soon, so I'm just letting the mud kind of slide on the windshield. Whoa, we just got onto hard pack. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Every little section of this road is different. It's like you'll get a mile and a half of nice, then a mile and a half of pavement, and then a mile and a half of mud. It's just like all over the place. I know it gets a little bit worse as it goes on, once it starts to get less trafficked up north. But this section's manageable. If this can go on for another 100 miles or so, I'm totally okay with that. And just like I said, we're literally 300 feet later and we're into slush again. I think it's because these mountains create like these just little microclimates up here. It'll rain one section, then it won't the other, and I guess that's just how it goes. You just can't beat this, honestly. It's not as cold as I was expecting either. 46 degrees, that's not too bad. I'm sure here shortly that'll change. Whoa, look, you can see the road winding up there. I'm wondering when we start riding right next to the pipeline. That section will be pretty cool. Okay, there's that pipeline I was talking about. I think we're going to start running parallel to it for a while now. I mean, that's the whole reason this road exists, so why not put them close together so it's easier to work on, right? Washboard, potholes everywhere. This place is just a vast. I can't say it enough times, but it's incredible. As far as the eye can see, minus one little tiny strip of road, is just pure wilderness. And the mountains don't look that big in the videos, obviously. It's a lot crazier looking to the naked eye. Uh-oh! That means I'm 2 quarts low on oil. I checked it 2 days ago and it's perfectly fine. I think I have a half quart in the front trunk. I'm wondering if it could just be the jostling that's sloshing it around the tank too. We're gonna pull over and we'll throw some in there. I don't want to blow up the engine. I tried to find some flat ground so we can measure it properly, and we'll see what the situation is. If it's really bad, I'll just have to turn around. If not, there's a gas station about 60 miles that way, and maybe they have some oil. I'm sure they do. Oh, I should have bought that $24 quart of oil back when I saw it. Okay, could we have had a false alarm because that looks like exactly where it was a couple thousand miles ago. I'm gonna let it sit for a couple more minutes, let it filter all down in there, but I'm wondering if the bumps just kind of jostled that sensor. Close the door so I can, for some reason, if you have your door open, it doesn't show warning messages. Huh, false alarm probably. It either sloshed around to the point where the sensor wasn't contacting oil, or the sensor itself just got a little bit jarred. Thank God, the oil's perfectly where it's at. I didn't think this car burned any oil, and at least we got that going for us. Well, the car's certainly not getting any cleaner, but the mud is drying out, so I just have a nice brown paint job. Well, you can still see my taillights at least. Definitely not the license plate. Nice little June snowball. Oh, you got one clean patch now. Red dirt too. Feels like I'm down in Georgia or something. Yeah, look at this. Just marshland. We're probably in a lowland and that's all snow melt, I would assume. We have a damaged road sign up here. And I can see why. Giant boulders in the road. Here is our pipeline. Look at that thing. This runs along the entirety of this road. I think we're going to be next to it through probably the remainder of my drive. There's not really much of a shoulder and definitely no guardrail anymore. Oh, hey, mud. Ever since we hit that lowland, it's gotten a little bit sketchy. I think all the water's just running down into these valleys from the mountains and the rain or the snow melt, and it is slippery. Really, really slippery. I have questioned turning back 5 or 6 times, but I keep saying if it gets any worse than this, I'll turn around, and then it just backs off a little bit, and then it gets up to the same level. So I'm still waiting for it to cross that line for me to feel nervous enough to turn around. But right now it's pretty bad, and we're also climbing because we're starting to get into the alpine area, get some trees. I smell severe tire burning. There's a truck in front of me. I'm hoping it's him, but I'm gonna pull over and make sure it's not me. So it was not me, but I'm still gonna clear out these mud flaps just in case. These are also cheap mud flaps. They probably can't hold this much weight. But we also have a nice, cool 3-tone paint job. We got red on the bottom, brown, and then white. I got quite a bit of mud off that front one. Hopefully the tires are a little happier now. Okay, now I thought I was crazy. This guy is a straight up psychopath. That is amazing. I love it. Wow. That thing was geared down. The feet were moving 1,000 times per foot. Yoo-hoo-hoo! We are up here. Wow. I'm definitely pretty high up here now. There's probably several feet of snow on the ground. That looks like, I mean, yeah, look how high it is up on those trees. That's got to be like 6 feet of snow. Thankfully the road's not snowy, but that's insane. The road is now rutted. Not enough to be scraping the belly, but you got a few inches of rut there. Up ahead, probably another, what was it, 4 turns, so maybe 10 minutes. We have the Yukon though. We're gonna get some gas food, hit the reset button, and keep on trucking. Keep on Audi R8 in. There is the mighty Yukon River. We have made it quite a bit further than I was expecting to once we saw those road conditions this morning. I honestly can't believe it. We're right on the doorstep of the Arctic. I was under the assumption that there was a gas station right on the edge of the Yukon River. Nothing. You can't trust anything you see online about this place. Okay, maybe I'm just blind because I turned around to see if I was just missing that there was a gas station there, and there's a clear sign on the road that says gas station ahead. So we're almost back to it, and I think I'm just too focused on the road, you know? So apparently there's a key to start the gas pump. You pump it up and then just bring it in and tell them how much you pumped. So let's see, unleaded. Good Lord. I mean, I kind of expected that, but what are you gonna do? I gotta have gas, right? Watch this rack up. I have over half a tank of gas, so we'll see how much this ends up taking. My exhaust must be heating up the mud. It's literally coming off like old drywall paint. Got some amazing apple pie and 3 shirts. Very rudimentary in there, but it was nice. Everybody was cool. Getting this bad girl fired up. And we will turn towards the north. The sun is actually out now, so that's amazing. Maybe that'll start drying things out. Looks like they have all their snow clearing equipment, probably construction equipment up here too. I'm assuming you probably need to do work on this road quite often. And I'm actually kind of shocked that they do snow clearing because, I mean, it's a gravel and dirt road. Can't really put the plow on the ground and scrape. There's our pipeline there. Yukon over here off to the south. And we will turn north. Let's get it. It's hard to believe something like this stretches for like 600 miles. That is insane. I can't even imagine the amount of material they had to bring in to do that and the amount of manpower. Wow, things really took a turn. The sun is shining bright. this morning was terrible. It was like absolutely miserable. And I'm actually getting hot now. It's 58 degrees out and we're only a couple miles from the Arctic Circle. I was under the impression that most of the trucks on this road, which isn't a lot to begin with, are all headed up to Dead Horse, where the oil field is, but that's not really the case. Once I pass the Yukon, it is like completely empty. It seems like a lot of the trucks are coming up to certain service stations or certain sections of the pipeline to kind of work on it or do maintenance, and then the further north you get, the more desolate it is. Because I was in that gas station, or what, trailer with a pump outside, and I was speaking to one of the truckers, and he said that he hasn't worked for a month. Like, he's been trying to find a load to bring all the way up there, and this is the first one he's had in a month time, which is not what I expected it to be. And one of the other guys that was with him said that the road past the Brooks Range is legitimately impassable. He said you have to have like mud tires or be a big, like a rig like that, and have a lot of weight to kind of push down on it. He said no cars making it past right now. So that's unfortunate, but we're going to get the Arctic Circle still. I'm determined now that we're this far. Return of the oil light. I'm just going to pull over, turn it off, and then back on again, and I think we're good. This section has been pretty rough, so I'm assuming that's what's going on here. Have you tried turning it off? And then back on again? We're still there this time. Yeah, the level was exactly where it's been this whole time. The car has burned a quarter of a quart of oil in almost 5,000 miles. That's unheard of for an Audi, especially an Audi 4.2. I believe from doing my research before this that this road is called the roller coaster, and I think you can see why. It's like a 12-degree grade down and then right back up. I can only imagine what this one would be like if it was raining. Hey, we're getting into the dusty section. It's pretty impossible to try to pass somebody like this because I can't even see to the side of them. So we're just gonna kind of cruise along at like 6 miles an hour until he decides to pull over. Oh my god, it's getting bad. This is better than mud, right? The dust trails people are leaving behind are insane. That one's like a mile long. I don't know how easy that is to see. When I'm green, it's pretty bad too. It's finally just starting to hit where I'm actually at. The landscape has changed drastically. We're basically Tundra now, and they're throwing up these signs all over the side of the road. I'm assuming when snow gets that high. Surprisingly enough, there's more wildlife up here than there was the rest of the entire drive so far. All at once, it just kind of hit me at how special this place I am actually is. I needed to just pull over and drink it all in a little bit. Earlier in the day, I was surrounded by snow-capped mountains and thousands of trees, and now here I am in a desolate, barren wasteland. But it couldn't be more beautiful.
I didn't sleep a wink last night, the storm was in my head. I was contemplating, tossing and turning in my bed. This is how it feels when all the welcomes have worn out. I guess the jig is up, it's time I head out. I'm leaving this town, I'm taking the same horse as before, not coming back around.
Wow. This place is insane. Hey. Yeah, we've got a couple sketchy bits here and there. Oh my god. Yeah, we'll just do that. Ended off with a bang, I guess, huh? We are 10 miles away. So, really close to the end of this. Not the end, but the halfway point of this journey. God, that hurts to say because I got to do the drive back too. But we're about to turn around up here shortly. And I don't know what I'm going to do on the way back. I stopped 10,000 times on the way here. I don't know if I'm going to stop again because it's the same route. But with the weather, how much it changes, I bet each little section is going to feel a little bit different than it did on the way up. So who knows? I might bomb through it if the weather's bad. If the weather's good, we will probably be doing a lot of stopping again. I'll catch you in a couple minutes and we will be at the Arctic in an Audi R8. Just when we're about a mile from there, I hit the biggest bump of the whole trip. And there goes my rear view again. Oh! Yikes. Okay, we're slowing way down. About 10. That should do. I see a sign up here on the side of the road. Although, I mean, driving that far to get to a sign, I wanted the journey, and this is just like the end point. So I'm really excited that I made it. I still have to go back, but we are gonna pull in up here, get some photos with the car, because this is definitely one of the most ambitious trips. Probably not one of the most ambitious trip I've ever taken in my life. We did it. We drove an Audi R8 4,500 miles so far to the Arctic Circle on some of the worst roads you could ever imagine. So this is just the halfway point of the journey. I got to make it home still, but we're going to kind of hang out for a minute, eat some lunch, and enjoy what we just did. Incredible. And look at that. We've got a perfect little site over here. Oh, hi, bird. I'm going to make some dinner over here and hit the road. While we're here, let's make sure this frame held up, because that was, like I said, a serious beating. Oh, there's a few screws. Perfectly fine. I'm glad we put those plates in there. What are my thoughts on the Dalton Highway? It's sketchy. It's way worse than I expected it to be. Usually I have a pretty can-do attitude. If something can be done, I think I can do it. This one tested me quite a bit, and like I said, I still have to go back the other way. I'm hoping the weather holds, but the road was terrible. Like that guy said earlier at the gas station, it's the worst it's been since midwinter. And if you are wanting to do this, I would not do it in a car, any type of car. SUV, truck, four-wheel drive with good off-road tires. Mosquito. Other than that, there's a chance you might not make it. I mean, I came during a blizzard up north and rainstorm down south, so it's a pretty bad time to be doing this, but this can't be the worst this has ever been up here. I'm sure this is pretty par for the course. But then we'll move on to the R8. Absolutely shocked at the car. I did all the work on it, brought it from a pretty sorry state to where it is now. It took a lot of work, and I kind of had mixed feelings on how everything was going to go. I was mainly worried about the frame, the tires, which is why I brought that spare, and so far haven't needed it. And then cracked windshield, which we got that out of the way as soon as we crossed into Canada, so I didn't have to worry about that up here. But I haven't had a single rock flung at my car. I guess it's just less busy than I thought it was going to be, and there's not a bunch of truckers flinging rocks everywhere. But the car has done amazing. Hasn't skipped a beat, minus the clutch slipping, which I'm still not entirely convinced it's the clutch. I'm going to wait until we get back to Fairbanks. I didn't want to do anything to the car before we came up here because it was still working. But after I get back to the city, then I'm going to get my laptop out and we're going to start trying to reprogram that and get the kiss point changed. And that way, if I mess it up doing that, I'm in a city and I can figure it out. You can't figure it out up here. So as long as it gets me back, I think we're in the clear. Now, apart from the seats, which I would have never been able to do on the factory seats without that cushion, the car's it's nice to drive. I mean, you sit down low so your arms are kind of rested up here. I just put a sweatshirt under each elbow, and then you're kind of just like completely relaxed, and all you have to do is that with the steering wheel. So I had no problem crushing miles. Usually, like, I drive a lot, but sometimes I'll get like 7 hours in and I'll get fatigued. I did 12 to 16 hours every day on this trip, and I haven't even skipped a beat. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm was excited to get up here. The drive back will probably be worse, as it always is. But I'm gonna finish these two, my trusty mac and cheese, my dessert, and we'll hit the road. Hopefully we can get back before sundown. Let's make this an uneventful trip back. If you've made it this far, I just wanted to say thank you for following along, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button because you are not going to want to miss the absolute disaster that unfolds in the next video. Also, Audi isn't the only car brand I like them all, but I have a couple videos of me restoring old Lotuses on my channel as well if you're interested in that.